Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is so wonderful to see your faces. I've got a little bit of a different video for you today. I'm doing a review. So I've been shooting with the Canon C70 for a couple of years now, and it's been fantastic. And I remember when I was looking at the camera, one of the things that I was kind of hesitant about was the fact that it was a Super 35 sensor rather than a full frame sensor. I'm guessing by the fact that you've clicked on this video, you know what the difference is. But if you don't know the difference, there's plenty of other videos describing the difference, and you can look up difference between Super 35 and full frame sensors. But one of the solutions that I came across was this little thing called a Speedbooster. A Speedbooster is a type of lens adapter that goes from your body to your lens that specifically works for cameras with a Super 35 sensor. There's a couple key features about Speedboosters, but I'll get into them later in this video. So with this solution of a Speedbooster came new problems. What Speedbooster should I get? There's a few different options out there that work with the Canon C70, but I'm not a millionaire and I needed something that would be cheap but work very well. I had spent hours on YouTube watching different reviews on different speed boosters, specifically the Canon speed booster, and there was a few different problems that just seemed like spending that much money on that speed booster specifically wasn't going to cut it for me. After having spent a huge amount of time searching for different speed boosters, I finally came across the Meike speed booster, but unfortunately, one thing that I quickly learned, there were no reviews. So because there was no reviews on the Meike Speed Booster, I wondered if maybe I could send them an email and maybe they'd be willing to send one to me so that I can review it, and then people would know more about this product and then people would be more willing to buy it. They got back to me and they said they'd be happy to send on the Speed Booster in return for a review. So here it is, the Meike 0.71x Super 35 Canon RF to EF Speed Booster review. Enjoy. Full disclosure, I haven't tested out any of the other speed boosters because I have no money, so this isn't necessarily an A/B testing and not a comparison review as much as it is my thoughts on this specific speed booster. However, I have seen a lot of the other reviews and have thoughts on those and was looking out for a few things and wanted to see how they would compare to this speed booster. So I've compared a little bit, but probably not to the full extent that I would have been able to do if I had those other speed boosters with me. So here it is, the Meike Speed Booster. This specific speed booster is for Canon EF to RF. So you take an EF lens and you can attach it to an RF body. I know going onto Meike's website, then there are a few other mounts such as E mount for Sony and I think Z mount for Nikon. And overall, I've been really impressed and really happy with this speed booster. I haven't got to use it on any specific project, but I've been using it for just testing shots, and I'll include some of those shots in this video. So a few features about the Meike Speed Booster. First of all, as long as you're using this with a Super 35 sensor, then you're going to get a wider field of view. So for example, you're using a lens that has a 35mm focal length with say an f1.4 aperture. On a Super 35 sensor, that means you're going to get a focal length that is closer to 50mm. However, with the Speed Booster, then you're going to get it closer to its actual length of 35mm. As well, the aperture is going to stay the same with an aperture of f1.4, but with the Speed Booster, you get an extra stop of light, bringing that aperture to closer to f1.2, which is really, really cool. This adapter does have electronic prongs, which means that if you're using things like autofocus or metadata or iris control, then you're going to get those as long as your lens has those features already. This adapter doesn't have any effect on image stabilization, so if your lens has it or your body has it, then it's going to work just as normal, but if your lens or body don't have image stabilization controls, then that adapter isn't going to make any difference. It's not going to add any extra stabilization to the image. And as for bokeh or bokeh or however the heck you want to produce that, this adapter doesn't really have any effect on that other than giving it, again, a more full frame field of view, which then might have some effect on the bokeh, but it doesn't necessarily change the way that the bokeh looks. It doesn't make it more artistic or whatever. So the things that I really like about this adapter, as I've already said, I really like the fact that you get that extra stop of light. I really like the fact that you get that extra field of view. That's probably my favorite thing. So being able to put a 16 to 35 lens on and getting to use that actual 16mm is really, really nice. From what I can tell, the autofocus works really well. I don't have all that many autofocus lenses. Most of my lenses are manual, but from what I can tell, then the autofocus is working quite well. The build quality feels really good. You're getting a nice metal mounting ring and metal mounting points for the lens itself as well, which is really, really nice. Just feels sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's going to snap with a heavy lens on it or anything like that. One thing that I was looking out for from when I had watched other Speedbooster reviews, such as the Canon Speedbooster review, is that the Canon Speedbooster, it seemed like there was this weird purple artifact in the center of the image. So I was kind of conscious of that and wanted to see if this Speedbooster would also have that. And from what I can tell, there is no weird purple artifact. So that is definitely a win over the Canon Speedbooster in my opinion. Again, haven't tested that, but from what I've seen in other people's reviews, then that is something that they said was a problem, and I'm not experiencing that same problem as of right now with this Speedbooster, which is great. And the other thing that I really enjoy about this is the price. This thing is less than half of what Canon is charging for their Speedbooster. So for this price, this quality, the autofocus and all the things that you're getting, it's really a no-brainer for me. I think that this is a really good Speedbooster. The thing that I'm not so crazy about in this Speedbooster is the lens locking system. It holds the lenses really securely, that's not a problem, but I just prefer the other type where you twist it and you hear the click, and I don't know if it's a satisfactory thing or if it's it just feels like it's safer. Again, this thing, it holds it very well, it holds onto the lens, and I trust it, but I just prefer the other kind. Now I know that there are different variations of this adapter. I've seen it with the more traditional twisting and clicking and locking, but some people really like this kind of PL mount kind of feature. So if you like that, then that's fine. It's not my favorite feature, but yeah, it's fine. It's not my favorite, but it is what it is. Fortunately, that's really it. I don't really have any other gripes with this Speedbooster. Again, I've only been using it for a couple months and not on any projects or anything. So if I ever have any updates on maybe something that's gone wrong with this, then I'll definitely update you guys and let you know. Yeah, overall, it's a really good Speedbooster. It's a really good adapter. You can use it on a full frame camera body, but you'll get a weird kind of vignette, and like it just doesn't look quite right, so it doesn't really make sense. But if you're using a Super 35 sensor, all those features that I talked about earlier, really, really nice, really great, getting that extra light, getting that extra field of view. I love that. It does what it's supposed to do. It feels good in the hands, and yeah, I'm just really happy with it so far. If you're interested in grabbing one for yourself, you can find links in the description of this video. You can find them on Amazon or Meike's website. And yeah, if you have any questions about the adapter, on anything that you think that I might have missed or any specific details, then definitely let me know in the comments and I will try and get to you as quickly as possible. Or if it's an important enough topic, then I'll make a whole other video about it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked it. I hope that it gave a bit of clarity on this Speedbooster. I know a lot of people are looking for a review on this, so I hope that it clears some things up and gives you a bit of relief if you're looking to buy it for yourself. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This is my first review, but who knows, if people send me things, then I will definitely do more reviews. I do all kinds of short films and vlogs as well. So yeah, hope that you enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Alright, we'll see you guys later.